If you feel that staying here brings you too much pain, you aren't strong enough to free yourself, then let me help you break your chain tonight, mate. He stares at me in silence. It takes a moment for his words to seep into my mind. Me leaving shelter? No way. How could he even say something like that? The very thought of it, it makes me feel angry. Hey, you still there? I said, are you out of your damn mind? Bloody hell, didn't expect you to blow up like that. Why not? Do you even hear what you're saying? Well, I was just saying that if you had enough of shelter and you hate all of us, then what the hell, Rune? How can you even say something like that? Well, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know how to get to you. I just see that you're not happy here, so I thought that maybe. But leaving shelter, come on. You know I love you guys. I didn't come or stay here because I had to. I want to be here with you. Of course it would be easy to throw it all away to go live in some fancy city abroad or whatever, but do you think that would make me happy? Do you think that would make me or anyone happy? Because I am a slave to my role. But there's a reason why I had surrendered myself to all that in the first place, right? It's not like anyone forced me to do that. It's not like I'm being a selfless martyr but suffering for you or anything. I started and continue doing all this for myself, for very selfish reasons. Because seeing all you happy makes me happy. Because this is something great and special that only I can do. But regardless how much I care about Zelda, this love once then was so one-sided, all because of the differences between us that we can never overcome. That's stupid. There's nothing we can't overcome. Rune, and knowing and overcoming are not the same. You can all tolerate me. Some of you can even think of me as a friend, but it's not in the same way as you are a friend with another dog, right? I don't care about your ways. That doesn't matter to me. That's because you choose to ignore it. I did the same thing, but it just doesn't work like that. I kept my sanity by ignoring my own nature, pretending that in time maybe the differences would somehow just fade away on their own. But it always will matter. Dogs like Teak will be there to remind me of that. For as much as I hate Teak, I know I should be grateful to him for disillusioning me. My avoidance of those issues wasn't healthy. That couldn't go on. But in the end, what really hurt me the most was not even Teak or any of the strangers I couldn't connect with, but you. Once again, we stare at each other in silence. Right now, the noises outside are those distant roars of beasts and occasional distortions of magic. There's fury and desperation burning in those voices outside, somewhere far, far away. In stark contrast to the remorse of our silence. Luke, you aren't being fair. I've done a lot for you. I always tried to have your back. Yeah, you still showed that with Teak earlier. You could have stopped him, but you didn't. Max did, but all of you still showed more care to Teak than me. There's a whole situation about you all. You all say how much you care about me. You're probably convinced that's true, but you're contradicting your words, your actions, or lack thereof. If I have such good, supporting friends, why do I still feel like a stranger among your people? Why do people who berate and put me down get all the support in this community while I'm ignored? Why do I constantly overwork myself so hard I'm almost going insane? Why the hell do I always feel like the loneliest person in the world if I'm surrounded by so many great friends, huh? Well, maybe because you never bloody speak up. I do. And even when I do, nothing changes. There's just nothing that can be done. Do you know why? That's because we both know nobody can really help me. The reason why I feel so overwhelmed and hopeless with everything in my life here is because my circumstances are overwhelming and hopeless. Both of us have always known that. Bullshit. Yeah? Then how do you see it? Tell me. There's nobody who can one-settle but me. It's way too much for just one person to handle, but what can you do about that? Nothing. You know what I've been dreaming about for the past few years? I wanted to go out and excavate the ruins outside with the dogs. Maybe I could find something that could help us with the overcharging problem. Maybe I couldn't learn anything about the other humans. But I can't go. I'm stuck here operating our whole base because I'm the only one who can do that. You said you didn't want to see me in chains, but I've been in them for years. And even if that wasn't an issue, I still couldn't go. I'm weaker than the dogs. I'm not. It was just a cold. My nose can't pick up the sense the way yours can. I feel so damn inferior and alien there. I want to be one of you, but there are too many differences to just ignore. For everyone's sake, I've been constantly walking a thin line between apathy and madness, but there will always be something that will pierce through my defiance and bring me back to this unfair reality. Another rabbit teak or another comment about my lack of knot. Do you know how I feel every time I'm criticized for all those stupid things I didn't choose? Oh, well, of course you do, obviously. And that's the worst part. What? What are you? Oh, you did. You always knew perfectly what I was going through, but you still chose to ignore it. What a great bloody friend. What? I didn't know it was that serious if I knew. Don't lie to me. You are a canine. You can do things I can't. You can feel my emotions with your canine empathy. That's been bothering me for so long, Rune. You always had the way to know how I felt. You know, I know it's wrong to expect other people to solve my problems for me. If I have issues, I should do something about them on my own. And I tried. I did, and I couldn't. Not on my own. And Rune, there were so many days when I was so overburdened, I simply couldn't do anything but just try to keep it together and bear with it. But down inside, I always kept that quiet hope that you would still oppose me on your own. If I could magically read your mood like you can bet your ass I would help you. So why didn't you? Care to do that for me? Luke, I swear. Oh, but I know why. That's because you never really care about me. Ever since the first day we met, you only used me as a means to an end. First to fulfill your orders for the wolves, and now to secure your cozy, carefree life here. That's enough. Yeah, because I hit the nail on the head. You said you've done a lot for me, but did you? Really? What did you do exactly? Waiting our home, slapping me in the face, treating me like a monster, and forcing me to investigate the relics for your rotten rulers? I was the one who still saw the good in you. I cracked you open and released you from the cell you let yourself be locked in for all your stupid life. I was weak and oppressed, but I still treated you like someone who needed and deserved help. But maybe you're not as good of a dog as I fooled myself. Maybe you really are nothing but a manipulative, lazy, selfish prick. You may act differently now, but maybe in reality you're still the same General Moon as you were 3 years ago. Luke, please. If this is the kind of friendship I can expect from you, then it's better if you remain my enemy. With enemies, at least I know where I stand. But you're nothing but a selfish oath breaker. First to your country, then to me. Please, Luke, just don't pretend you suddenly care about me again, or you just need me to fix some shit again. You could have helped me any day, anytime you felt me suffering. You could have done something, but you did nothing, like it was someone else's problem. Every time you used empathy, you buried matched literally everyone you could have. Luke, listen. Get your hands off me. Let me go. I'll pluck your other bloody eye, you dirty animal. I can't do that. I can't read you with empathy, Luke. What? Stop lying. Of course you can. No, I really can't. I've known you for years, mate, but your mind's still as screwed up to me as it was the first day we met. I don't understand at all. No way. No way. We've done pet mentality. That means you can connect with me. Yes, I can sense and react to your thoughts, but that doesn't mean I can understand you. Remember during your lecture when I said about pet mentality practices in the army? The canine shoulder can be taught total surrender to the pack. Neither love, friendship, nor even true understanding are necessary for that, only loyalty. That's what we've been doing all this time. Every time we entered pet mentality, I surrendered myself to you, opened my mind to you, and I gave you all my strength, skills, and knowledge to wield as you please. Maybe you weren't aware of that, mate, but you were the one who always called the shots for both of us. You alone. That's unexpected. For a moment I don't know what to say or even what to think. What he's saying is true then, but the others? Mate, nobody said I can read you with empathy, not even Matt or Burry. So what? You could still see what was going on. You could have reacted. I know. You knew how much I struggled, and now you bothered to help me. I know, Luke. If I were as strong as you, if I were a canine, I try my best, but I can't do everything on my own. I'm weak and lonely. Stop saying you're weak. But of course I am. Compared to you all, No. We may not be as big and physically strong as some dogs, but what does that matter? Compared to you, we are all nothing but helpless blind pups here. You are alone, but you are the one who can do all the things that are beyond our reach. I wasn't even aware of the depths of our world until I had a taste of your power, and that changed my understanding of everything forever. It was you who saved me, not the other way around. You broke me free from the chains of multiple lifetimes. And I thought, damn it. Mate, I thought you wanted to teach chains next. He's in urgent need of that. I thought you saw that too, and... No, it doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is, we all seen you doing things none of us could. If you're saying that you're weak, then what does that make the whole rest of us? I can't believe what I'm hearing. At this point, I don't even know what I'm feeling anymore. I'm neither angry nor nervous, just dumbfounded. The sounds in the distance outside have deceased. No monster wars, no magic destruction, no calls and howls, nothing. Has the spat squad of dogs always been the fear, or those our first casualties of the night? How many more dogs are we going to lose tonight, if we are going to survive at all? If I'm as strong as Rune says, why can't I do anything about that? Rune's words and his expectations of me are just nonsense. Rune, you're talking to me like I'm some kind of savior, but you should know that one person isn't enough to fix everyone's problems. I know. I was the one who needed saving. I count on you. You are strong. You are the hero. I'm nowhere near as great as you think I know. I failed you. I swore to be shelter, sword, and shield, but I was helpless to protect you from the things I couldn't slay with my blade. I didn't need bloody empathy to know you were hurting. Even when I saw all those obvious signs, I was never sure. I had no clue what was the right thing to do. All my life I was always told what to do. I had my past and my future set in stone for me, and I only had to follow whatever everyone else had decided for me. And I thought I was so good at that, a world-class hero, the strongest dog, the invisible embodiment of our country's spirit. But you, Luke, you made me feel weak. When you broke my chains, you also said all the pride in those hollow accomplishments. So I just gave up. I never saw me rescued by you, and I thought I was honoring your sacrifice by living a carefree life, true to no one but myself. But really, it was nothing but an excuse to grow lazy and complacent. I'm not even surprised you always go to Matt and Burry with your problems. Why would you ever come to me? I was never wise or dependable before, and I'm even worse now. Maybe I miss all the praises and the way people looked up to me. I drown myself in the reverence of this weird little town and my new carefree life. And all the fucking. Well, it turns out I just like dicks and asses a lot. That's all. But I let that impulsiveness and lack of restraint wipe my mind and made me blind to what's important. You, mate. That's bloody unforgivable. I wouldn't be surprised if you really decided to not speak to me again. I screwed up. But if that's how it's going to end, then at least let me say my part before we spread out to fix shelter. We all look up to you, mate. We care about you. We want to see you happy. That's the truth. We are also much dumber and more helpless than you take us for. We're bloody idiots compared to you. That's the truth, too. You think too hard of us and downplay your own strengths. You are a dime a dozen, but you are unique. You are more precious than any of us. I wish you could do the things you can, mate. Not only to be able to help people in the way you can, but most importantly, so I could be closer to you. I've been feeling this way for a long time, ever since you saved me and matched everyone at the cost of pieces for your own bloody self. How do you think I feel when I watch you withering away, and I can't even do anything about that, not even speak about it with you? For the first time in my life, I chose something to protect on my own, but there's fuck all I can do. If only I could do the things you can. If only I could ease you in your burdens in a meaningful way. But I can't. The great canine hero is powerless to help his best human friend. I've been thinking that for a long time, mate. If only I could breach that massive gap between us. If only I could be more like you. I would have given up anything for a chance to share your pain, mate. My power stats, even my current life, just to be closer to where you are right now. The truth is, I wish, don't say that. Please, don't say that, Rune. I wish I were born as a human too, mate. Rune, what the hell? That was my line about wanting to be born different. But, like the other way around. I mean, I always thought that everything would be better if I were a dog. That's literally the one single thought I've had on my mind all this time. Are you stupid, mate? I understand you're feeling a bit misunderstood, but why would you want to give up everything that makes you awesome? You're kind of dependable. You can do things none of us can. You're damn handsome, and have such a powerful scent of vinegar, so strong. Yes, but I know. It's all about the knot, right? I understand. No, not necessarily. But, I scratched my head in embarrassment, remembering how loudly I shouted, I would never have a knot right before the power went out. Out of all the things, I really wish I didn't say that part. When the awkward silence dragged on and I tried to come up with a proper follow-up, I noticed a gentle grin clear on the husky's muzzle. He sighs, and then he puts his hand on my shoulder. Listen, mate, stop blabbering this nonsense about having to change who you are. You are the greatest treasure of this whole world, and none of us wants to lose you. If you finally manage to understand that, then maybe I will stop feeling sorry for myself too. We are all weak and flawed, but we can do better, right? We can work hard and improve, but like all other dogs in our class have been doing every day. But please, don't reject who you are. Don't hate all the things I love the most about you. After all, you were the one who taught me the freedom of loving myself. You can bet your ass I'm going to make you happy too, whether you like it or not. If you feel weak, we will train you past any limits you may stupidly think you have. My strength is your strength. If you don't feel us as a part of the pack, then I will make everyone understand and love you, even more than they already do, and they do a lot. My pack is your pack, and, well, maybe I can't make you grow a dog dong, but stay assured of my undying dedication to you in both mind and body. I swear I will fight for you, protect you, I will support your freedom, happiness, and growth to my last breath. I'm not going to take your words lightly ever again, neither dare to take mine. Consider this an oath. Still holding onto my shoulder, he brings his snout close to my face. The threads of our fate are knotted. He gives my cheek a single tender lick. The cold in my heart melts. I'm being left on the verge of tears, watching my husky friend's quiet smile and his glistering ice blue eye. I don't know if I can really be sure if anything is going to change. We've gone through harsher events and prettier words before, but seeing Rune's gentle, uncertain smile and after hearing him spill his heart out for me like that, I can at least be sure that he cares. We're all only people, stupid and flawed. Then again, maybe that's what keeps life interesting. There's always more work to be done. Nothing stays perfect forever. As long as we still care about each other and we want the same thing to make everyone happy, then maybe it's okay to put a bit of faith into those pretty words. He stares at me surprised, with his tongue stuck out in front of his mouth. I press his nose again. The tongue hides back behind his lips with a quiet plop. When another boop, his tongue plops out once again. I keep my finger pressed against his wet, black nose until it left and right. His tongue moves from one side of his mouth to the other accordingly. I think he knows my smile because he starts smirking too. Be careful. If you keep rubbing me like that, some other wet thing may pop out next. It's okay. Nothing I haven't seen before. So, we good now? Yeah, I guess. And you, back to horny Rune again? And you back to horny Rune already, huh? Oh, mate. There's no serious Rune in horny Rune. I'm serious when I need to. But I'm always horny. Like, when you shouted, I am shouted in such a furious and dominant way. I feel guilty and terrible, of course, but I also, damn, I really want Rune to ravish me right now. Rune, behind you. Suddenly, a beast jumps off the ceiling, whole legs bearing its long, sharp, yellow teeth at us. A massive hued horned beast with long, dirty hair growing out from between its frost-covered scales. They are here. The monsters have reached shelter. Before I even have the chance to react, I watch with confusion as Rune pushes me to the floor and jumps away from me. My heart skips a beat while I stare into the toothy maw of the monster drawing closer to me. I can feel the handle of my sword at the tips of my fingers, but I don't have enough time to defend myself. Right when it's about to bite me, Rune slashes down with his wet long sword. But the blade doesn't sever the beast's head. It doesn't even graze the monster's body at all. But Rune slashes into space right in front of my face. When the jumping monster's head is so close to me that I can already feel its breath. It slams against an immovable simmering barrier of solid light, right in the spot where Rune slashed just now. Now! My hand squeezes over the handle of my sword and I jump up to my feet to lunge at the monster, shattering the barrier into a cloud of sparkling shards of spectral glass. Before I can regain its balance, I drive my blade into the monster's forehead. It screeches and it swings its clawed paws around furiously. Even when its head pierces, it still doesn't fall. Rune! It's mine. Of course. He jabs at the monster's jaw, giving me a chance to unwedge my blade and jump back, but he doesn't hurry it any further. He kicks something at me, and I can catch it in my free hand. It's a black monster bone. I switch it to a reverse grip with my left hand, assuming the slightly crouched stance we practiced with Rune before. The monster swipes one of its clawed paws at me. I feel the full force of that strike over my forearm as I block it with my bone mace. I feel myself falling to the ground, but I put all my strength into twisting my whole body. I slash below the monster's wrist. The blade cuts through one of the bones, but then stops and wedges into the other one. The monster's hand falls limp, but I can't pull my sword out. I can hear two simultaneous swipe sounds by head. I can see in the corner of my vision that Rune just blocked the swipe of the monster's other arm with another barrier. The monsters are ferocious, but they are neither dumb nor pointlessly suicidal. Seeing the disadvantage of fighting against the two of us at once, it jumps back, taking my sword with it. It stands with its rear legs on the rubble in the corner of the bath, surrounded by water. Is it going to look for a way out? I can't let it run away with my sword. I know. Go get it, boy. My heart pumps with warmth and strength from hearing those honest words of encouragement from Rune. He really believes in me. Let's see if anything he believes me to be is true. I'm on the charge of feeling mine I release after wounding a monster. The moment I feel the first changes in my perception, I rush forward. I run over the elevator edge of the bath. It's extremely slippery, but my flexible use of feline magic allows me to improve my grip by climbing the stone surface under each of my steps. The monster swirls at me in fury, and it swings its healthy arm at me. It's quick, and yet the feline senses make it so easy for me to react to it now. I let the stone under my feet erode deeper as I lean to the side. I jump right at the outer wall, making pieces of stone splash into the water below me. My boots dig and a good couple of inches deeper in the wall. Letting me lunge right at a confused monster, switching to the forward grip of my mace on the fly. With cat's reflexes, I narrowly evade the madly snapping jaws. I drive the long spike at the side of the mace right into the monster's eye. I slowly slip toward the water, and the beast swings all of its body in pain and madness. I cling onto the top of its head. Before my mind can even properly translate into thoughts of what my eyes can see, my free arm juts out and grabs the handle of my sword stuck to the monster's forearm as soon as it draws near. I shout, channeling sparks of feline mind through the blade, and it finally slips out from the bone as if it was a warm knife and butter. I jump up when the monster turns its head towards me. With amplified reflexes, flexibility, and precision, I twist in the air and slash through its throat with the full length of my sword. The creature makes a terrible gurgling sound as a gas line near to its spine spills thick black ichor into the clear bath water. I jump again, narrowly avoiding a desperate strike of its tail at me with a stylish backflip. I burn the very last remnants of the feline bones, destroyed the spine, and completely severed the head of its body with the final strike. I get forcefully grabbed and yanked by the collar of my coat. We land on the mostly dry towels with Rune safely. He grins at me, and his tail swooshes left and right in exhilaration. He looks so proud of me. See, you're not weak at all. I smile back at him and open my mouth to deliver the best one-liner of my life. But suddenly, I turn my head away towards the bath and vomit instead. That was one backflip too many. I may be able to push my body past my limits with the use of different species of mind, but I always need to deal with the backlash once I run out of it. Rune wipes my mouth and helps me stand back on my feet. The wagging of his tail doesn't slow down the slightest. He stares into my eyes so intensively, his ears turn red, and I can hear and feel hot gas on my cheek. Where is he? Luke. I can't wait any longer. Tell me right now, you amazing, gore-smeared, brutal piece of man. And then he turns around and starts taking the belt off his pants. Luke, Rune. Oh no. We let one slip past, didn't we? Boy and Max rush into the bath with panicked looks on their faces. When they see Rune pull his pants down, they freeze. When they finally notice the monster's carcass, I quickly help Rune put his pants up, while they are still occupied with that. Those are some sloppy cuts, Rune. Are you really still that drunk? You're going to be nothing but a liability on the night's mission if you do not sober up soon. Let me detox you with one might. Actually, I was the one who slayed it. Oh? I mean, wonderful job. Yeah, there's certain artistry in those cuts, I say. So deep and choppy. Indeed, just like in cooking meat sauce, you don't really need super clean slices through the meat as long as everything is cut. And dead, and it's very dead here. Yep. They both give me a thumbs up and put up wide grins to encourage me, but their tails don't wag. There's still some obvious awkwardness lingering about opposing me after my outburst. Finally, they break the act and run to me with clear guilt in their eyes. Luke, I'm so sorry about taking everything and pushing so much on you. I thought I was doing what you wanted, but I was wrong. I never wanted to hurt you. I failed you, Luke. As much as I try to understand you, I always feel like I went in circles. Even when we dealt with the wolf, I thought we were doing good, but you got angry at us that time too. Huh? What's that about Alan? Do you remember the day he stole from your room, and then he threw a dagger at you when we chased him? You were angry at us for being rough with him about that after we caught him. Yeah, so we thought you didn't want us to act on your behalf in general. So even with T, we thought you knew what you were doing. Ugh. Oh, damn it! The more I hear, the more sense it makes to me why they were acting how they did. I really was wrong. I told them all those awful things, calling them uncaring jerks and bad friends. But they aren't jerks. They aren't evil. They are just bloody stupid. My good willing idiot friends. And so am I. I'm often so lost in my own head that I forget that all of them do the same thing. Overthinking inside their own heads, interpreting the world with their lonely, limited perspectives, making wrong assumptions. I know that we can't all become smart flowers overnight, but talking and clearing those misunderstandings is a good start. Too bad that innocent people had to get hurt for us to learn something so basic. Now I fully understand how much you are hurting, Luke. I swear I shall make it right to you. I can quickly improvise a musical segment about our feelings and about how much we care about you and love you. And you still feel like, no, it's fine. Not now. Maybe later. Let's go now. I won't allow anyone else to lose their life tonight. What do you mean by anyone else? Did someone die? I heard all those dogs charging at the monster they fought, and then everything went quiet. All that. Please do not concern yourself about that. We were doing a little diversion while trying to work on the door at the same time. There were no mortal losses at the time we disconnected. 2 dogs got wounded, but they are already back to safety and taken care of. Huh? What does Burry mean by diversion? Disconnected? Was it in the corridor the whole time? Ah, of course. Pet mentality. I can't stop laughing when I hear the howls and barks outside. I noticed the dogs from earlier. They aren't gone after all. If both of them were leading the diversion even remotely, then that could totally work. Both Burry and Mance have vast knowledge and experience in survival tactics against the monsters. I think I might have looked at them in awe for a bit too long, because they look away and scratch their cheeks in embarrassment. However, their tails finally wagged in earnest. I feel Rune's strong hand on my shoulder. Just like you were giving all of yourself to shelter all this time, we didn't stand idly by either, right? You planned and talked our strategies for various emergencies with our most trusted comrades. We held regular meetings. The night situation is unique in its type and scale, but please believe in us, like we believe in you. They will hold on as long as they can. If we hurry, we can still save everyone. You're not alone in this, Luke. Rune gives me a quick scratch behind my ear, and he walks forward to stand beside Burry and Max. They all look at me expectantly. They weren't pushing everything on me. They couldn't do the things only I was able to do, but they actively looked for ways to contribute to shelter in their own ways. They are doing their best. I know some things have to change, and I'm actually glad I had that talk with Rune. Together we can figure out how to reach a brighter future. Right now, I'm going to push one more time. Yeah, again, do what only I can do. Do you figure out how to open the door? No, sorry. I lived and tried, but there isn't much I can do with the power off. And my current sword isn't fit for cutting metal. It will break sooner than the door. In the end, we may need to go out through the hole after all, even though I really think that's a bad idea. We may not be able to defend ourselves when the monsters attack us on the wall. We may have one solution to the door problem, however. Max puts a small metal box in my hands. It's a bomb. Why is it still here? Rune, I'm sorry. I was so excited about today. I completely forgot to lock it in our vault. But that's good for us, right? This may be just what we need. It's a chant of an ungular ember, breath of carcass, right? That type of magic can bring an explosion capable of melting metal. It can help us, but we cannot predict or control how vast the damage sector is going to suffer. Take that into consideration. Still, this is our best bet if we want to get out of here fast. We have spent enough time here already. Decide, Luke. We'll follow. Should we use a bomb? Use a bomb. Guy, I'm so glad I put a pin that was so easy to remember. Now, just to set the time. My default is set to 10 seconds. I'm starting to sweat, thinking what would happen if Rune didn't extend it with his random button pressing in the incident earlier this morning. Let's have a minute countdown. How does half a minute sound? Does half a minute countdown sounds good? Oh boy, we're actually doing this. Sounds good. Set it, and I'll take it from here. I'll take it from you. I changed the time and pressed the confirm button. The bomb beats with high intensity, indicating the rapidly approaching detonation. Max grabs the box and smashes to the dark corridor. The sounds of his steps as a beeping go distant. He isn't gone for long, as the seconds drag like minutes. When he finally runs back, he orders all of us to jump into the bath. We all do. We stay underwater for excruciatingly long time. Is it not half a minute yet? Did I say it wrong? Maybe it's a bomb after all. What if? Suddenly, a strong, loud quake, audible even underwater, sinks through my whole body and pushes the air out of my lungs like a punch in my guts. My instinct to swim back for air. And as soon as I do, the purple tongues of magic flames sings my wet hair. The brightness blinds my eyes. I feel someone pulling at my leg, and I'm yet again submerged underwater. But this time, we're long for a water swallow and panic. I'm going to die. The seconds felt like minutes earlier than right now. They feel like lifetimes. I flare my limbs, fighting for my life. Finally, I'm pushed back up to the surface. I violently carve out a liter of water as soon as my head breaks to the air. It feels terrible. A primal fear of drowning that kept people alive since the beginning of time was kicking in with force. This is the worst feeling ever. Damn, it really was the breath of carcass. Let's check out the door. Okay, Rune? Okay, Luke? Never better. I get whatever piece of equipment on the floor survived the flames, and we finally leave the baths and grab the black monster bone from our holding seal for protection. As we hope, the gate is obliterated, and so are the floor and the ceiling. The bar cables and electronics flare with a sudden surge of magical energy, lighting the passage in a pale purple light. It's hot like in the oven. But with my friend's superhuman acrobatics, we managed to pass to the other side with relatively little damage to their bare feet. Ouch. Oh, you okay, Burry? I was transported safely by Rune, but Burry is the least dexterous out of my friends. I heard a couple of yelps from him when he burned himself out. We burned himself on the way to the other side. I'm starting to consider wearing shoes like you do, Luke. Dogs usually walk on their bare feet even outside, and still only know a handful of canines who choose to wear footwear, and that's considered essential in their culture. But we spend a lot of time. We're ready to rumble now. Yeah, it's still bright enough here, but I know that it's going to be harder for inside. However, there's one thing I can do to see better. Canines can see well in dim light. Usually, Celtic's relics work against magic users by constantly sucking out mana and ethereal forms to power its own systems. However, Celtic is down now, and mana can run freely. So take a deep breath, absorb the charge of mana. I cannot mana bury a spell, but he burned his feet just now. I feel the cannot mana burn inside me. There's a lot of it, but I believe I can control this state of emergency. I feel my own spirit be more active. I let the mana spread across my body and enhance my senses. My sense of smell becomes sharper. My ears seem to catch more nuances in the surrounding sounds. And my eyes gain the ability to see in dim light. Okay, let's go. Deeper inside the shelter. The further we get, the more light from residual magic still lingering in lamps helps us navigate. It's just barely enough for us to navigate via canine dark vision, but mine won't last forever. We have to decide our next course of action quickly. Finally, we reach crossroads. We should spread out, right? That would be wise. Someone should go and activate the emergency power system. You take care of that, Max. You know exactly where everything is. In the gardens, it is vital that they stay protected from any stray monsters if they overrun and destroy our equipment there. Indeed, our very existence here depends on the safety of the gardens, as I defend them with my own life. Thank you, and Rune, I'll take care of the monsters outside, don't you worry. And the dogs we can't fight will be kept out of harm's way. Permission to access the treasure vault? Granted. Yet again, distant noises breaks the silence. Then the following beastly shriek chills my bones and fills me with a sense of urgency. Put my hand on the spiky monster bone for reassurance. Are we going to be okay on your own, Luke? Yeah, I've always been. I know this place like the back of my hand. I don't know. I don't really want you to go on your own. I can take care of myself, no worries. It's not the first time. Take it. Max hands me the decanter with the remaining water mana potion. Good thing on his end to grab it on his way out. Please stay safe, Luke. You too. I will see you all again. Boy nods. The three dogs nod and stare at their respective corridor as they ready their weapons and psyche themselves up for the upcoming struggle. Despite the gravity of the situation, I don't sense any nervousness from them. My temporary canine empathy picks up on other powerful emotions. Excitement, determination, pride in themselves and their comrades. It's something even more powerful in this dire circumstance that strips every soul's defenses down, soul's true unobscured emotions. I vaguely recognize this one specific desire that makes me feel I will gladly die for them if I have to. It's shared between all four of us. I want to name that emotion, but this is truly something worth living for. It makes me feel invincible. Your orders, Captain? I know everything is going to be fine now, tonight as well as through the future ahead for us. We'll find a way to make everyone happy. Everyone? Protect shelter. Everyone spreads at once into their respective corridors. I follow Max for a while until he eventually turns and jumps off the ledge to skip a couple of doors. Now I'm fine on my own. I used to charge a canine mana to simultaneously aid my vision in the dark, as well as to scan for the presence of the monsters. Their minds are chaotic but strong in each spot. Celtic has been my home for years. There are many sections of this place we haven't unlocked yet, but I know every room and every corridor wherever has been open to us so far. Whenever I hear or feel a monster, I have a pretty good idea where they are, and I know which turn to take to avoid them. Sometimes I come across closed gates, but I know that they aren't locked, and I can draw them open just enough to slip past my monster Bone Club HB as a crowbar. For opening the more narrow gaps, I also help myself with a sword, but I'm careful not to strain it too much. I wouldn't mind breaking that mace, but the blade is too variable. Plus, it's a gift I don't want to ruin Rune's gift. There are a couple times when I feel wanting dangerously empty on canine mana, but I manage to find enough lonely charges in the air to recharge. I feel nervous every time I do, because each spot which is in mana is accompanied by the scent of fresh canine blood. I see claw marks of broken or abandoned pieces of equipment. But luckily no bodies, they are all struggling to survive. How much more time can we afford to lose? I have to hurry. As I pass the slightly ajar gate to our adjoining sector, I absorb the charge of canine mana floating there as well as I continue running. Is someone crying? I swear I can hear whining somewhere. There are two for us. Should I go check that out? What if they need help? No, I should just hurry up to the turret control tower and set the skies ablaze as soon as possible. That's the only way to really save everyone. If I find whoever's whining out there, there's no guarantee I'll be able to save them. They will pretty surely slow me down if they are hurt or too scared to stay on their own. Moreover, some monsters are known to lure their prey with mimicry. Even with canine empathy, it's hard to distinguish a monster's mind from a person overwhelmed with anguish. The moment I turn the corner, some tentacled abomination could snatch me and eat me alive, for all I know. Who knows, maybe that's why there are no bodies lying around. I know I should just keep going for the sake of everyone. Well, everyone said of that one poor guy. If it turns out it really is someone in need, crap, what should I do? The best I can do for everyone right now is to fix the turret as quickly as possible. The sooner the cell is back online, the less casualties we'll have on our hands. I'm sorry whoever's crying out there. Soon you'll be safe again. Let's go outside the turret's control tower. Despite shelter usually being a lively place, it feels surprisingly desolate right now, with a bunch of the dog's belongings spread around, but none of the people can be seen. As I navigate my way through shelter, avoiding any signs of monster presence, I can also feel bundles of canine souls hidden between thick, secure doors of random rooms. It's smart of them to keep out harm's way during this crisis. Those too old, too young, or too weak to fight still let the strong ones in the pack protect them. Should I be able to see the sunlight again? I myself do my best to stay away from the monsters as well, but whenever I feel them up ahead, I take the nearest turn and readjust my course. That may add some more length of my journey to the top, but it's still much faster and safer than if I were to engage in needless battles. It's funny though, I chose this path because I thought it would be the quickest one, but in the end it turns out I was just going with Burr instead. That's because I ended up just a couple of turns away from our gardens. I'm still too far away to sense Burry's presence with empathy, but I'm sure he's there, fighting for us with all of his might. But something's weird. I can't smell his scent either. Why is that? But there are many other scents. Human. There's another canine presence nearby. Someone is talking to me from behind a slightly ajar metal door to one of the rooms in the corridor. I can feel 3 other dogs behind him. I stop. I know this dog. You're an Afghan hound from Rune's class. I knew it was you, human. You have a very strong smell. Like vinegar, right? Ugh. Have you seen Teague? Not after the light went out. No. What are you doing? Close the door. No, maybe he can help us. You want to go? Great. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. How can you say that? They are your pet mates too. The fall, the shelter, the will, the spell, the end. The more life, the end. Every. Hell. See, he's already broken. Well, we have to do something. That's what we were training for all this time, right? Maybe we want to start as team, but there are 4 of us. Please, no. Don't make me go back there. What happened? Is someone in danger? Afghan hound is between his first disbelief and frustration. He struggles to think out anything else to say. He grasps my hand with both of his trembling ones. He heaves and stares at me with tears swelling in his eyes. He cries out a pathetic whine. Human, please. All our friends, it's Sir Thistle. They are all fighting the monsters in the gardens right now. A cold shiver crawls down my spine. So it's not only the warriors who are dealing with the monsters right now. Old and weak dogs like Thistle, there being one to save them in time either. The brave dogs from Rune's short training class may be protecting this right now, but that doesn't fill me with too much confidence. After all, even Rune admitted that they weren't ready to go out for excavations yet. He judged that not all of them would come back alive if they were to engage with the monsters. Unfortunately, they didn't even have a choice. The monsters came to us because of me. Everything that's happening tonight is my fault. I will never forgive myself if even a single dog lost their life today due to my own stupidity. Come on, we're gonna give them back to safety. Thank you, human. Thank you. Get up, everyone. You have a real chance to fight back now. Yeah, right. What? Are you still going to stay here, even though we have the human on our side? Yeah, so nothing has changed. Huh? Forgive us, human, but you didn't exactly impress us during the training. We need a real warrior, like Teague. Not, well, you. You're being rude. But he's right, and you know it. What is he going to do? Use his fancy eyes to tell us how sparkling our splattered guts look next to the monster to death? I don't know, but the chief told us all how powerful he is, right? If the chief puts his faith in him, I will too. I see. In that case, it was an honor and a privilege to train with you, buddy. Well, Marcus, but the zebra gives him a deep bow with an exaggerated swing of his arm. Afghan had grits his teeth, and for the first time he lets out a growl. However, he doesn't respond. He looks at Boston Terrier, but the poor dog doesn't even meet his gaze. I can feel fear in his mind, just like in Great Danes. Great Dane stopped, muttering to himself in a trance, and instead his eyes are fixated on me. He opens and closes his mouth, and his lips tremor as if he struggles with formulating his words. This is a tough situation. If we're going to go and save Thistle and everyone, we need all the people we can get. A single additional soldier can tip the scale in our favor. However, in the state they are right now, I don't know if they would be advantageous or detrimental to our mission. Canines are all about unity after all. And theirs is broken. I was the one who forced them into the situation. It would be unfair of me to force them to fix what I caused. But I have to go, even if it's just me and the Afghan hound. Come on. But he looks over his comrades with desperation and frustration in his eyes. I put my hand on his trembling shoulder to calm him down. I was surprised to have my hand swatted away. You three are a disgrace to our ways. These are not the values we stand for. I'm ashamed to call you my packmates. Before anyone can react, Afghan hound unseats his rapier and runs out of the room. Sleepy English smirk only widens when he sees that, but as a steps grow distant, his smile drops slowly. He looks at the door with a 1,000-yard stare for a few long moments. I'm sorry, human. We just can't. Please don't let him die needlessly, too. I nod and turn towards the door to chase after the dog. However, a big, heavy paw lands on my shoulder. The Great Dane stare bores into my eyes. He's clearly shaken as well. Through the wild must of emotions, I can feel traces of guilt and desperation in his mind. Wookie. Is he trying to say my name? I don't know what exactly he wants from me, whether to stop me, encourage me, or to come with me. Regardless, he needs to stay here, Out of all the dogs in this group, he's the only one who is truly in no condition to help anyone. We'll bring them back here, don't you worry. And pat his hand and take it off my shoulder. Then I went after the Afghan hound, leaving the 3 dogs behind. As I hurry up towards the gardens, Afghan hound's scent grows stronger. Eventually, I see him standing shaking, leaning against the wall. Is he crying? I approach him from the side, putting my hand on his shoulder. He jumps startled. Sorry. It's okay, everything's going to be fine. I know, but... human, what have we done to deserve this? This is the exact question that stings me with the greatest, heaviest guilt. That's because, unfortunately, I know the exact answer to it. Nothing. Nothing at all. I was careless and I made a terrible mistake. Everything happened tonight is my fault, not yours. I expect some kind of an angry remark, but this is the truth after all. I'm on the source of everyone's suffering tonight. However, he doesn't seem angry at all, just sad. You've done and continue to do more for us than any of us have ever given you a reason to. You're more of a canine than any of those 3 cowards. He smiles, but he keeps staring down at the door. While he takes a deep breath and continues running, I follow him, closer and closer to the smell of soil and vegetation, closer to the scent of monsters and blood. We arrive at a giant, spacious hall filled with the scents of soil and vegetation. And like most of the other sections inside shelter, the gardens aren't completely dark. Their moonlight seeping through the glass ceiling above our heads, as well as some relic light by the walls. The sounds of still working irrigation and ventilation machinery buzz around us, and the whole giant hall stays as warm as it always was. This is a great relief. It means that our emergency power system for the gardens worked as intended. I hope that in the future we'll manage to organize the rest of the shelter in a similar fashion to keep the most vital functions active during blackouts, even if only temporary. Right now, however, we're limited both in our tools as well as in understanding what we actually have available. Regardless, we knew that the gardens were our absolute top priority at keeping intact during the times of crisis. Droughts and temperature or prolonged dryness could completely ruin some of our crops. And we absolutely need those. The gardens are the lifeblood of shelter, keeping us alive and independent. They have to be protected. As soon as we pass through the entrance, the first thing I notice are heavy, dirty paw prints. They usually clean pavements, and between the farming patches are now dirty with chunks of soil. There is also glistering blood, indicating a very recent struggle. Is all over the ground, splashes of red and black paint over the vegetation. This isn't good for us. Bird was supposed to prevent that. Where is he now? At least there are no bodies to be seen. They're human. Can you hear that? I stop while I hold my breath and listen to the sounds around me. The gardens are vast and full of vegetation. Some of it audibly pulsates with its own sounds, so it's hard to pinpoint the exact location of the other noises. Maybe I can hear growls, barks, and other sounds of battle coming from several at the opposite end of this whole complex. They're here. They're there. Come on. No, wait. Huh? Though what's in? Let's stay on notice for now. We have to use that to our advantage. Afghan hound stops, looks at me with embarrassment, and nods. We both stride under the fleshy canopy of the overarching trees, glancing cautiously from behind the bushes. We do our best to get closer to the skirmish as quickly as possible, while keeping light on our toes. I feel terrible about the damage I see along the way. Ruined crops are visible, crushed eggs on the bushes, and fresh tree barks bleeding out from claw wounds. I know these are just plants, but I still feel incredibly uncomfortable seeing exposed, fractured bones and loose hanging tendons on our branches. I must have forced myself to focus on the task at hand. My weird phobia slowly resurfacing in every past fresh plant. I guess I'm lucky that I already threw up eventually. At least the machinery is still intact. I see the blades of plowing and harvesting contraptions hanging over our heads, suspended from the transparent glass ceiling by thick metal cables. Tentacle-like metal limbs dangle over us, simmering in moonlight, and thick droplets of water drip from the hoses. That's good. As long as the wells are intact, we can grow back whatever crops were wasted tonight. Suddenly, I'm being pushed to the ground. With both of us hiding behind a bush, the Afghan hound puts his hands over my mouth to silence me. We hear stunts and growls of a monster passing by a few meters away from us. I got too distracted. Thank you. No problem. Look, slimy, hairy slabs of flesh flap against our faces, and we both push our heads through the bush. It smells so incredibly strong and really alluring in my canine mind enhancement state. If I don't take any time to enjoy it, all my attention is focused on the sight in front of us. My heart skips a beat when I finally see them. The whole crowd of monsters growling, leaping back and forth, and pacing patiently near the wall. The sickening accumulation of the smells of gore and weak, scared whines in the center of it all. Another monster shows forward, and I both hear and feel a wave of mortal panic exploding from that place. Chaos of cries, grunts, snarls, and slashes rolls around the air in a dance of life and death before the monster finally gets pushed back. For just a split of a second, there was enough of a gap between the monsters for me to see the faces of German Shepherd, Golden Labrador, and all the other exhausted and terrified dogs from Rune's class. Behind them was Thessel, leaning against the wall, heaving and exhausted. I raised my hand towards the Afghan hound, ready to stop him if he wanted to do something as stupid as throw himself at the monster to save his pack mates. But he's not doing that. He trembles, he holds his breath, he stares at the scene in front of him, absolutely paralyzed in fear. I put my hand on his shoulder, he twists as he instantly turns his head to face me with eyes wide open in terror. You okay? As if by an automatic response, he instantly nudges his head up for a nod. But he freezes, hearing another yell from his friends. He lets out a muffled whine as well. No, honestly, he's not okay. We're going to help them, I promise you. How? Do you think you could do pet mentality with me? With you? I don't know. If we were able to connect, we would break some real havoc there. But we can't. We talked about that in class. Yes, we can. You don't want them to die, right? It's exactly because the situation is so silly that we're gonna be able to do it. It's in the greatest adversity at the crossroads of fate that people can break their limits to save the course of the world by their will. I know you love them. I know you don't want them to get hurt anymore. You are not alone in this. I feel the same way. So please, break your limits with me. I saw a strange choice I cannot mind from the air. I brought it to keep my enhancements working. I did if I really wanted to attempt pet mentality with him. I smiled at him. How can you not be scared? I am scared. It's just not the first time for me. And I'm still scared every time. But I guess courage is like a muscle. You grow it by exercising. I see the greatest struggle in his eyes. His head slowly turns to look at the monsters again by the time I grab him over the shoulder to keep him focused. I wink and smile to reassure him. I know that even with pet mentality between the two of us, we have very slim chances at getting everyone back to safety, but at least there would be a chance. That's the best we can do with what we have now. They aren't going to be able to hold on forever. Afghan Hound definitely understands that too. He looks at me with guilt in his eyes, clearly saying of his wavering resolve. He probably beats himself over that. He brought me here to help him, and now he proves to be no better than those cowardly dogs he criticized just a moment ago. But I know he shouldn't feel guilty at all. We're both scared, but we are here. He chose to face the danger and by all those dogs we care about. Awoo. There's something that unites us. Awoo. Keep our voices down. We let out the quietest, smallest of woos. We close our eyes and let those weak howls rumble in our throats. We seek each other out, trying to connect our thoughts and senses. I've learned how to do that in the past despite not being a canine. For Afghan Hound, it should theoretically be easier, but this is still a power that has to be exercised to be able to use proficiently. On top of that, building mental bonds isn't something that can be forced that easily. But I believe we can do it. I feel a strange affinity to this dog. Our values are aligned. We both struggle with fear for those who need our help. Surely that link I feel, it must be real. Finally, the half-silent howl ceased. Afghan Hound opened his eyes. So did I. Me? Damn it. I was so sure I could push him further with that pep talk. I swear I could literally feel each other in our heads. But it didn't work in the end. Really? Yeah, if it did, there wouldn't be a me and him. We would become one. I see. But that was to be expected. I'm too terrified right now. I have never been able to do that with people I haven't slept with before anyway. I mean, of course, Human is very handsome and smart and brave, and his scent is just incredible, like a true leader. Then I want to raise my tail for him so much. Excuse me? What? No, nothing. Stop thinking about Human, you slut. Your friends are in danger. There's neither time nor place for that. I wonder he would kiss me if I leaned in closer right now into them, embrace his strong, furthest arms. Your lips are moving. Once they part, I will go for it so hard, and I can read your thoughts. Can you read mine too? Oh, no. Oh, no. It's okay, calm down. Keep the connection steady. Of course, I would absolutely love to shove you down to the ground and make you my bitch. But maybe let's focus on our friends first, okay? Yeah, we just think that? It's okay, I like that. No, I swear, I'm not like that. I know. Your mind is in chaos right now. Mine too, we can't fully control what we think. It's fine. Exactly, Luke. You shouldn't feel guilty about your nervous erections either. Don't look down. Don't stare at his crotch. But we managed to connect somehow, at least in our surface thoughts. Fortunately, that doesn't really make us any stronger in combat. It's hard to figure out what we think to each other, but we hear one of the monsters charging once again, another choir of shouts and roars. The longer we hesitate and waste time, the closer all of them are getting to being completely overpowered. We have to act. What can we do? Even the pet mentality plane was a stretch. I'm so sorry. No, it's not your fault. But yeah, if we just charge at them, we're only going to die ourselves. Chief Moon said you were really powerful. He's always spoken about you with great respect. Yeah, in some ways, I guess, but not in raw physical strength. I can't do much on my own. I always need an assist of another stronger warrior or some powerful relics at hand, but right now I don't have anything on. That's it. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Your beautiful blue eyes brimming with that mysterious dominant spark in the moonlight, so breathtakingly contrasted with the fleshy crimson in the garden. Close, but not quite. Look up. See his lips trembling as he turns his head away in embarrassment. For a moment, he looks like he's coming up with some explanation to his thoughts, but in the end, he just listens to me and stares up. Indeed, there is moonlight shining through the transparent glass ceiling above us. Underneath it shines metal forming machinery, suspended by thick frames, cables, and mechanical arms. Many of those tools are sharp and heavy. The machines, but still it's our power. Not completely. Heating and other basic functions still work here. Right. We have very little energy to spare and may not even work, and even if it does, we will ruin the gardens. And the gardens are necessary for our survival. Please. I know. Let's do that. Afghan Hound puts his hands on my shoulders and he smiles at me with such a strong expression of happiness and gratitude. It looks like a gift and I guarantee that everything is going to turn out alright, but I know I can't. We're at such a great disadvantage. There's just too many uncertainties in this plan. But at least there's some hope. That's what's important. I'll do what I can to make it work. We certainly cannot give up. Rose said. So, can you run fast? Yes, I can. The Afghan hounds are great at running and jumping. They're very agile. Wait, stay here or wait for my instructions. Don't break our unity. I step away and start running back to the entrance area. This is a reckless plan. The machinery here is vital to our sustainability, and so the damage to anything may have terrible consequences for us in the future. But I don't care. Tools can be repaired, or we can do a chunk of that work by hand. We can't, however, bring the dead back to life. That's wholly deliberate to me. Finally, we reached a small building near the entrance to the gardens, the control room. A lot of that big machinery can be remotely activated and positioned here. If we play our cards right, we might be able to impact the battlefield more than we could with pet mentality. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to go into man visit now. Let me know if you start feeling sick. So, it looks like the Afghan hound has some feelings for Luke. That was apparent when they were able to connect to each other through canine empathy. They weren't able to connect everything, their physical and their physical. They weren't able to connect physically. They were merely able to connect mentally. If they connected physically, it could have helped them towards fighting the monsters, but the Afghan hound did apparently have some feelings towards Luke, and he did have an attractiveness towards Luke. So, not all dogs have something against Luke. There are some dogs that actually like Luke and like his, and they are physically attracted to him. So, next time we're going to play a little game, and I played this game before, and in the next video you'll see for yourself. But it deals with what kind of food we need, and we have to use some codes. We have to use this PC and put some codes in. So in the next video, we'll figure out the codes and all that with the machines in this room. So with Rune, I really like what Rune told Luke, that being canine is not everything, and that Luke should have more pride in himself. That he should believe in himself more instead of always wishing he was something else. Always wishing he was a dog. And Rune told Luke that he liked him the way he is, that he didn't care about his race, and that if it wasn't for Luke, there would be no shelter. There would be no place for the dogs to come and truly be themselves. And that Rune thanked Luke. He credited Luke for freeing him from the overbearing roles and responsibilities he had as a general. So I really enjoyed that part the most. I wish Luke would have more pride in himself and believe in himself more. I mean, being a canine is not everything. And being a human is not nothing. I mean, I don't know how many humans there are in this world, but I'm pretty sure not all humans are like all physically and feel like Luke. I'm sure there are some stronger humans as well out there, if there are any out there anyway. And brute strength is not everything. I mean, Luke is very intelligent. He's very knowledgeable of the lost technology in Shelter. None of the dogs know anything about that. I think Max may know a little bit about it, but Luke is the one who knows about it the most. So it's not just about brute strength, it's about how smart you are. I think in Boy's Root, Boy said that canines can't think as clearly as humans can. So they were supposed to be a human. Plus humans can see clearly. Because I think one time when one of the dogs, I forgot what dog it was, but when a dog used human mana, they were amazed by how clear everything was. That the vision of a human was much clearer than that of a dog, and they were so amazed by the colors and everything. So there are benefits of being human. All species have their own benefits and disadvantages. So we'll continue with Rune's Root next time. One more thing, that final scene, that CG of the Garland, that's very beautiful. All the colors, and it's very professional. All the CG work in this game is top notch. It's very beautiful and very professional. Especially doing back in Rune's Root. Especially back in Boy's Root with his brothers forming as icicles shaped like wolves. That's where that GC that CG of Burry and his brothers shaped like icicles, well, with icicles shaped like wolves. That was very beautiful in all the colors. It was just well done and professional. A lot of beautiful CGR in this VN. So that's all for now. All the information for the game is in the description box below, including the Patreon and Twitter. Well, when you go to Patreon, you can get builds a month before they become public, and that way you also help with the game. You can also go to Twitter to learn more about the game and the progress of the game, and as well as the creator himself, and also so you can be up to date on information about when new updates will come out. So thank you all very much for watching. Bye. That CG of Burry and his brothers shaped like icicles, well, with icicles shaped like wolves. That was very beautiful in all the colors. It was just well done and professional. A lot of beautiful CGR in this VN. So that's all for now. All the information for the game is in the description box below, including the Patreon and Twitter. Well, when you go to Patreon, you can get builds a month before they become public, and that way you also help with the game. You can also go to Twitter to learn more about the game and the progress of the game, and as well as the creator himself, and also so you can be up to date on information about when new updates will come out. So thank you all very much for watching. Bye.